John here from Freedom Pharma. I'm 73, and what that gives you is a lot of experience. Back in 1984, probably a lot of you weren't even born, I ran for politics. I think I was 33 years old at the time. And, you know, at that time, it was very interesting for me to be doing this. I'm from Western Canada, and the thought was I'm going to go to Ottawa as a national representative if I get elected to represent my riding in the national parliament. Anyway, so what the party that I was running for at the time did is they had what they called candidate college. And so they brought, probably every other week, they brought 50 candidates. This is during the campaign, so you've got about a 3-month campaign. And you've got they have 330 ridings in the country, so they'll bring representatives, the people who are running in 50 ridings from all over the country into Ottawa at one time. And it's called a candidate college. They basically put you through, you know, mock TV interviews, mock radio interviews. They tell you what you should be saying. Basically what they're trying to do is make sure that the candidates they've got out in the country aren't going to go on, you know, on TV out in a local area and say something that's contrary to the national policy. Anyway, great. I get onto one of these, you know, candidate colleges. I go down to Ottawa for a week, which was, you know, a great experience. Meet a lot of people from down there. Eventually, I'm having lunch with the next coming prime minister and all his cabinet ministers. Those are the guys basically who are, you know, training us on what we should be saying. Anyway, the very first meeting that we have, and it's closed. There's no press. It's just us and our party, and I don't even know who it was. I can't remember. Probably was the future prime minister. He's telling us that, okay, guys, we're going to say some things during this election campaign that some of you may not be in agreement with. Especially some of you guys out west, and I'm from out west, and I'm thinking, oh man, here I am, all eager to change the world and to represent my riding, and already, before I haven't even been elected yet, I'm nominated to run in that riding, but you know, we haven't had the actual election day, and I'm thinking I'm already having to compromise, you know, what I think is right for my area. Anyway, I'm thinking, okay, well, what can I do? And the logic is basically you got to win the election before you can do things. As a matter of fact, that's how they justified it. When we sort of said, okay, well, you know, why are we doing this? Why are we compromising our principles? And the answer was, if we don't win, then we can't do anything. So in other words, we have to get power, which they eventually did. They won the biggest landslide election, I think, in Canadian history, and only 70 seats out of the 300 and some in Canada went to the opposition. Funny enough, the seat that I was running in also went to the opposition, so I didn't win. In hindsight, I'm not upset about that in the least. Anyway, the point of the message is that compromise is really what makes things work in politics. And you know, I guess you've always got to compromise, but the other thing that's important, and I see this in U.S. politics right now, power seems to be the biggest thing in the world. In other words, you know, the things we were talking back in 1984 were minor. You know, now the things that people will say and do to maintain power, they'll literally lie about things, which I think, holy smoke, some of the stuff that's going on, especially in the U.S. right now, you know, completely fabricating things and then getting the press to go along with it, and all of a sudden trying to influence the voters that, you know, that aren't even paying attention, sort of seeing just what they see superficially. Anyway, point is, you know, I've had a lot of experience doing a lot of different things over my lifetime. We're going to, you know, tell a few more stories like this. Freedom Pharma is basically, you know, making people question the narrative of what's going on, and that's what we're going to keep talking about as we go forward. But at the same time, we've got something that we think that might help you, and it's called Gut Fix. Stay healthy and gut fix yourself.